Hey guys, Tony Maritato here. So I had a great question come in. This has been a common topic lately about motor vehicle accidents or just personal injury cases in general. So I'm going to do my best to read from the email. Bear with me. So this particular therapist is a mobile therapist. They just got a referral. The patient was involved in an auto accident. The patient has Medicare as the primary insurance, but in this case, the auto accident is going to be where all the claims are going. I've never worked with this patient or the insurance company before. She talked to the adjuster, who said the patient does not require pre-authorization, which is pretty common for auto accidents. There's basically two situations. You've got the immediate medical costs, which are covered by MedPay. Usually MedPay has a dollar limit. It might be $10,000, $25,000, $50,000. But MedPay covers the initial cost. It's typically paid out first come, first serve. So if the patient was in an accident yesterday, went to the emergency room, had imaging, had this other stuff going on, and then sees you today, if you get your claim out, printed on a CMS 1500 with a W-9 and your notes, send it to whoever the adjuster is, then you're going to get paid. And so the faster you get these claims out, like literally as the patient's walking out the door, you should be printing your claims and you should have a fax number for the adjuster so you can fax them directly or email them if that's an option too. But get them to the adjuster lightning fast. You will be the first paid. You're getting paid at the full bill rate. So if you're billing $250 a session, you're going to get paid $250 a session. When it's going through MedPay, there is typically no adjustments there. You have no contract with them, so they have to pay your full bill rate. Keep that in mind when you think about the hospital billing $1,200 for an hour of therapy, and you're only billing $250 for an hour of therapy. Okay, so back to this. This particular therapist, she tried to get an idea of the reimbursement. The adjuster can't tell you what the reimbursement is because they pay whatever you bill. So as long as you're kind of within the scope of reasonable and customary, and like I said, you've seen my other videos, hospitals here locally are charging $285 a unit, $650 for the evaluation line item. I guarantee you're charging less than that. So you want to get those claims in. This therapist is saying the patient lives 45 minutes away. She wasn't sure if it was something she could do because of the commute time. Again, I mean, it's well worth your time and effort. And there is no 4-unit limit per visit. So if you're going to make a 45-minute commute there, 45 back, that's 90 minutes. You could look at charging for that travel time. But while you're there, you could do a 90-minute, 120-minute session. You could bill for telehealth visits if that's an option for you. But this is absolutely worth your time. If you can get into that MedPay, we're going to talk about what happens when that MedPay gets exhausted here in just a second. So if I don't get compensated well, I can't afford to go out that far to do it. So what would you do in this situation? Okay, so like I said, I would absolutely treat the patient. I'd get the claims in ASAP. So what happens when MedPay runs out? What happens when now you have to look at the next payer source? So typically what's going to happen is MedPay pays first, that runs out. Then it goes to what's usually going to be some sort of a settlement. Now, the reality is a settlement could take 2 or 3 years for you to get compensated. It usually doesn't. Here in Ohio, when we have an auto injury case, our settlements usually come within a couple months. Typically what happens is the attorneys ask us, the medical providers, to reduce our charges. So if we bill, say $250 is your bill rate for an hour of therapy, whatever your unit charge is, they might come back and say, can we pay you half of that? And then you would negotiate somewhere between what they offer and what you charge. I can almost guarantee it's definitely going to be higher than the Medicare allowed amount, or it better be, and you're going to get paid out of that settlement. And then, of course, if for some reason it doesn't go to settlement or something happens, then the Medicare as the primary insurance is the default that it falls back on in most states. So if you don't get compensated from the auto accident, you still have Medicare. And remember, Medicare has a 12-month timely filing limit, so you have up to a year to get those Medicare claims submitted. Now, something I will tell you that happens quite frequently, especially nowadays, is the attorney is going to say, hey, Mr. Therapist, Mrs. Therapist, what you should do is send your claims to the insurance company so you get paid now, and then we'll reimburse you after settlement. Well, guess what? The reason why they're doing that is because you're in a contract with the insurance company. The insurance company is getting a discount because they're sending you volume, and so the attorney is getting the benefit of your reduced rate through the insurance company. My general advice is you do what's best, you talk to your team, but if there is any chance that you can hold on to those claims, hold the claims, don't send them through the insurance, wait for it to go to settlement, send it to MedPay, but once MedPay is exhausted, hold the claims, wait for settlement, and then you decide if you're going to accept an adjustment, what that adjustment's going to be, because it absolutely should not be less than the third-party payer reimbursement would have been. But keep in mind, if you're dealing with, let's say, a Medicare Advantage plan like a United Healthcare Medicare Advantage, they only have a 90-day timely filing. So you do run the risk that if you go beyond 90 days, you won't get the reimbursement from Medicare Advantage. But if you end, the case might just never end up going to settlement, or they might request a lower than expected negotiated rate at settlement. It is a little bit of a gamble, but that is the way I would approach this whole situation. Get your claims to MedPay lightning fast. If that is exhausted, get your claims and hold on to them, send them to the attorney, make sure you're on the attorney's list, the adjuster's list, whomever is handling the case. And this way, if you're on the list, you're guaranteed to get paid, assuming it goes to settlement. And then worst case scenario, that all falls through and you go to the third party payer. In this case, it's traditional Medicare Part B. I hope that was helpful, guys. I'm going to answer another question in the next video.